I am a businessman. Can we use a credit card of a conventional bank based on interest and take care that we always pay the amount before due date and thus not involve in riba? Regarding using a credit card of a conventional bank which is based on interest on riba, and ensuring that when we use a credit card, if you give within a period of 29 days to 59 days, they don't charge you interest. So if we take care that we will pay on time and we will not give a single penny interest, is it permitted to use credit card? According to the strict fuqahas and the strict scholars, they have said signing a contract in which you say that if I default in the payment, I will pay an interest, whether it be 2% a month or 3% a month, which is normally the case in credit card. It's very high. It's 2-3%, sometimes 4% a month, which is exorbitant. Signing a contract, even though you pay on time, it is haram. And Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen was asked this question. He said, signing a contract in which there is a clause of riba, even if you pay on time, is not permitted. It is a haram contract and should not be indulged in such a contract. As I said in my earlier answer, even using credit cards, the major scholars, the authentic scholars who are strict on Quran and Sunnah, they say using a credit card of a conventional bank is haram, even if you pay on time. Point number one, by signing the contract that if you default, you will pay interest, is you agreeing with the terms of riba, which is haram. And the hadith of the Prophet is very clear, that the person giving riba, the person taking riba, the person who is a witness and person who arranges it, all are the same and it is haram. And Allah clearly mentions in 8 different places about riba. And Allah clearly mentioned in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse number 278 and verse number 279 that if you give up not your demands of riba, then take notice of a war from Allah and His Rasul. So riba, it is the 12th major sin. According to Imam al-Dhahabi in his book, the Kabair, the major sins, he puts riba as the 12th major sin. And it is like waging a war against Allah and His Rasul. There are many major sins. Even drinking alcohol is a major sin. But Allah doesn't say that if you drink alcohol or if you do zina, Allah and His Rasul will wage a war against you. As far as riba is concerned, Allah is explicit in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 278 and 279 that if you involve in riba, if you give out not your demands of riba, take notice of a war from Allah and His Rasul. And which human being, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, can wage a war against Allah and His Rasul? So when you sign a contract, that is the reason even keeping a savings account in a conventional bank which deals with riba is haram. Because even though you say that I will keep the money in a savings account or in a fixed deposit and what money I get I will give in charity, the Quran is clearly taking interest is haram. So for giving in charity, first you have to take. Taking interest is haram, giving interest is haram, signing as a witness or facilitating, even signing for a conventional bank account as a witness or introducer to your friend is haram. So all these are haram. So in a credit card, what many people, I know there are fatwas given by many so-called European scholars and fatwa committee of the Western countries of North America, of America. I know many, okay, because it's a zarwat, you can use a credit card as long as you pay on time. There are high chances that you may forget. If number one, signing a contract, even if you pay on time, is haram, number one. Number two, who knows about the future? Can it not be possible that once in a while you may forget? And what the clause of the credit card is, that after you use the money, you have to pay within 30 days, can be extended to 59 days, depending upon the bank. So minimum time paid they give is 30 days, can be up to 59 days, depending which part of the month do you take. And if you pay on time, they give you free. And they charge you an annual fee for using the credit card. Now, annual fee for using money on it itself is haram. So number one, signing the contract is haram. taking an annual fees for giving money on riba, that's haram. And third, if you don't pay on time, that is haram. So if you don't pay on time, however much you may be confident, there are times that you may forget. There are times that you may be sick and you may not pay on time. So even if it has happened once in few years, it's a grave major sin. Allah and Rasul will wage a war against you. So first of all, even if you pay on time, it's haram because you're signing a contract. Number two, you're paying the annual fees for credit card, that itself is haram. Number three, that if you forget, actually you'll be paying riba. So all three are haram. I know that there are some Western countries, scholars who say, what is the zarurat? Don't indulge in it. You keep a debit card. Debit card is permitted. If you have to have a bank account, you can open a current account which does not involve in riba. You can't take riba and give it in charity. Some scholars say that it's okay, but the most authentic scholars, taking itself is haram. So for giving, first you have to take. So I disagree with Muslims keeping in a conventional bank, in a fixed deposit or savings account and saying we'll give the riba in charity, thinking we'll get no sawab. No, that itself is wrong. Because when you're taking riba, you're already getting a major sin. By charity, you may be getting 100 points plus, but taking riba, you may be getting 10,000 points negative. So 10,000 negative, 100 positive, yet you have 9,900 negative points. What is the benefit? But because of zarurat, you can open in a conventional bank in a current account which does not involve riba. If you want to use a card, you can very well use a debit card. Debit card means if there is account in the money can be utilized. Here you are not taking loan from the bank. So debit card is permitted, credit card in a conventional bank is prohibited. So the alternative you can do is use a debit card. See to it you put money in the bank if you have to use a card. And when there is money, whatever money you have, that much money you can use, whether for shopping, whether for payments of bill, no problem. If it's an Islamic bank working on Islamic principles and not on riba, then you can use a credit card of Islamic bank because the Sharia is not broken. It does not deal with riba. It is based on the Islamic principles of Sharia without involving riba. So if you have a credit card of a Islamic bank working on the principles of Sharia, then that's permitted. But best, I would say, is don't take loan even from Islamic bank. Best is not to take loan. You can have partnership, you can do musharaka with your friends, etc. Best is not to take a loan from any bank. If you have to take as a last resort, better take from Islamic bank than a conventional bank. Don't use credit card of any bank. If you have to use a last resort, use of Islamic bank, okay. Best is to use the debit card. Hope that answers the question.